You guys, I think I saw one of the most irritating clips of all time today. It's something that really I've been stewing on all day. It kind of put like this detonator in the back of my brain, and it was just waiting for me to record a video to completely be set off. So what we're going to be talking about today, if you haven't heard of it, is a term called LatinX. Now, starting like any fantastic movement, it started in 2004. LatinX is essentially a term that is used as a gender-neutral way to replace the words Latina or Latino. So if that's something that ever offended you in your culture, don't worry, the West is here to save you. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of this, I want to apologize on behalf of the entire West because this is obviously Western ideology, and there's plenty of us, millions, probably most of us believe this is actually a little bit crazy. I really feel like I should be playing the British are coming, the British are coming, because we're culturally appropriating an entire nation and acting like it's okay. Or at least some people are. Now to get in the nitty-gritty of what Latinx really is. Well, it's a way to actually make the Spanish language gender neutral. For anybody that doesn't know, the Spanish language runs off of masculine and feminines, so like el and la. So there's a lot of different verbiage and ways to say words in the Spanish language that, like I said, have masculine and feminine qualities to distinct who you're talking to or what you're talking about. Now, like I said, this started in 2004. It was used on the internet about 2004. It started making it in academic books in about 2013. But it really started to gain popularity just recently, if I'm being honest. And I think that started because of, all the discussion around, trans rights and, just the debates around trans people in general. Now, I don't want to turn this into a war about is trans right or wrong, because I don't really care. Do what you want. I'm a very big believer. It's a free country. If you want to identify as whatever you want, do that. That is fine. As long as it doesn't hurt me, you can do what you want. That's my belief. So in terms of this, the problem is when you start actually trying to affect the other parts of the world with your ideology. Because what it is at its core is a political statement, right? There's a certain group of people that feel a certain way and they want fairness, which everybody should want fairness. I totally get that in the country that you're in. And if you live in that country and participate in their laws, you should fight for whatever you believe is fair and free. However, the problem, like I said, comes when you try to push that same ideology, that same political statement, that same feeling on an entire culture because you feel that it's offending you. So what happened? Well, the person on your screen is Rubius. He is a Spanish streamer. He streams on Twitch. And he was playing Spiderman, the new Spiderman 2. Good game. But the problem is it was made in the West. So these big companies actually try to be as politically correct as possible to an absolute fault. So what they did in this clip I'm about to show you is essentially translate and change the Spanish language to the Latinx gender-neutral type words. These literally created out of thin air words. And I'm going to be honest, when you actually hear the actual, if you converted this to English, it doesn't make sense. That's the thing, is these words are created to try to be inclusive to a population that didn't ask for it. All right, so here's the clip.
Y encima ha contratado a mi científica de abejas favorite, la apidóloga Jong. Es le ¿Es pagar el alquiler el día 1?
It's so funny. Did you see the absolute look of confusion in his eyes? He was like, what the hell is this? Because the language is so foreign to that culture that it's almost it is insulting. It's literally insulting. I mean, you literally have Latinos coming out and basically saying Latinx is offending them or bothers them. And it bothers them because it's basically like another one of those things where America just has to put their hand in it. We do it with war, we do it with politics, and it's exhausting to the world. And just because, maybe people had the nice idea of trying to be inclusive and, help the world out, maybe they don't want your help. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they don't need your hand. You don't live in that country. You don't know what they want. You don't know their own politics. And most of all, you don't own their language. You literally are trying to say, like, I'll be your savior when they didn't ask for one to begin with. I mean, it's just crazy to think about the nuts on these people because they literally feel like they have the moral obligation to go in and change an entire nation's language because it might offend them. That's insane to me. I mean, could you honestly imagine approaching like an Arab person and saying, hey, we're going to change your language to be more inclusive? You think that they're upset? Oh my God, I'm pretty sure we would have another 9/11 because you tried to change an entire culture again. This is exactly why we have psychopaths that hate America. It's because we do stuff like this constantly, and it's so obnoxious to see. And here's the thing. These companies that do this, like the inclusive, try to appeal to the, mass populations, need to take a very thorough room temperature check to see if this is the type of stuff people want to see. I mean, even Bungie does it, right? It's not something that's exclusive to one person. These companies try to be so politically correct that they end up stepping on their own dicks. I mean, let's take a look at this, right? In Spanish, words ending in O are masculine and ending those in A are feminine. When referring to a mixed gender group, the plural word ends in the masculine O. So, substituting that letter for X avoids preferencing the men. So essentially what you have to do, like I said, is change the entire vocabulary. You get words and sentences strung together that sound so foreign to the people of the actual user of the language. It's literally like a jelly-filled turd. And just by reading this line down here, it's just comes off as so like slimy. It's because it's just like, oh, we would just want to make sure that we're inclusive to you. But this is literally the definition of who asked, who wanted this, who actually asked for this. And I don't think anybody did, because the outrage for this is absolutely insane. And the most important outrage is the people for the culture that this is for. I'm just some white guy on a camera spewing my thoughts. The real stuff is the people that are actually of Latin descent and get offended by this. They should be offended by this. I'd be like, what the hell are you doing? And what worries me is that, like, we're just going to see more of this stuff, right? I think as time goes on, we're just going to see more and more companies that try to adhere to what they believe to be politically correct for the audience that they service. So gaming companies obviously service a younger generation, and they believe the younger generation wants maximum insane inclusivity, even if it means appropriating another culture, for example. So it worries me. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I appreciate you.